GM Labs TT.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
How can you do this? You know we're already struggling and now you want to add to our problems too?
Of course you're back here.
Ma'am, please, I hope
you listen to me. I know that for someone like you, it must be a whole lot of fun to go out and get drunk. I'll ask you this one time, that if you can't respect your daughters or care enough to avoid doing things to get yourself arrested, then at least have the basic decency not to get Alejandra involved in your reckless behavior.
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
This Mother's Day, give Mom something she'll truly appreciate every single day. Right now at Bright Ideas, we're bringing you massive deals across all locations. TVs from just $9.99. Twin tub washers from $13.99. In the kitchen, fridges from $42.99 and stoves from just $16.99. Coffee makers from $125. Kettles from just $99. Blackout curtains 2 for $100. Towels 4 for $100. Bed sheets from $50. Glass sets as low as $22.99 and much more. Up to 50% off on all the flowers Mom will love. Don't wait till last minute. Come through and save. If it's not on special, it's 25% off. Lighting fixtures, bedding, mats, carpets, dinnerware, tableware, and much more. You're guaranteed to save. Visit any of our Bright Ideas locations nationwide today because Mom deserves more.
Time Check, brought to you by BioStrath Immune with added zinc. Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela relations back in the spotlight as the energy minister downplays an oil spill Caracas says is reaching its shores.
I'm celebrating no matter. I'm cooking. I don't have the strength, the energy to do nothing.
A Princestown mother grieves for her son who was murdered in an ambush. The EMA may have cleared the way for the new Rocky Point Hotel in Tobago, but conservationists and residents warn of environmental damage.
And in sport, TNT Red Force batters and Barbados Pride bowlers share the headlines on day one of the CWI Championship semi-final playoff.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Doris Polo and this is the Weekend News here on CNC3. Thanks for joining us. The government is facing mounting criticism tonight over its handling of an oil spill in the Gulf of Paria. Concerns are being raised about transparency, environmental accountability, and the potential diplomatic impact on relations with Venezuela. Now, while the Ministry of Energy insists the spill was minor and dealt with swiftly, the opposition and a political analyst say the delay in informing the public has raised troubling questions. Gisha Kaulesa Alonso reports.
The government on the defense tonight for its response to an oil spill that occurred in the Gulf of Paria on May 1st. In a statement late on Saturday, Venezuela raised the issue publicly. Until now, the government had nothing to say. The incident has sparked criticism not only over environmental management, but over communication, transparency, and the sensitivity of relations with the neighboring country. Venezuela expressed concern over what it described as a hydrocarbon spill originating from this country. Caracas claimed the spill caused environmental damage, threatening mangroves, wetlands, marine life, and fishing communities dependent on the region's resources. It casts an already tense relationship between both countries back into the spotlight. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal downplayed the incident, describing the spill as a minor event that occurred within Trinidad and Tobago's waters and was addressed within 48 hours. He told the CNC3 News in a WhatsApp message the situation was quickly contained and effectively managed with no lasting environmental impact. He also placed blame on the previous administration, saying the PNM left behind aging and dilapidated energy infrastructure. But former Energy Minister Stuart Young accused both Heritage Petroleum and the government of attempting to conceal what he described as a major offshore spill. Young questioned why the public was not informed immediately and called for an investigation into who allegedly suppressed information. Political analyst Dr. Shane Mohammed also said the delay in disclosure is troubling, given the fragile and complex diplomatic environment.
We have to take into consideration the geopolitics in Trinidad and Tobago, and in the world that is affecting Trinidad and Tobago is very delicate. We have to tread carefully.
As Venezuela goes public with the issue, while TNT downplays it, it's left to be seen where this leaves an uncertain relationship between both countries at a critical time. Geisha Kablesa Alonso, CNC3 News.
Meanwhile, the former energy minister also slammed the government for what he terms as the mismanagement of the energy sector. Responding to the Sunday Business Guardian story today with Methanex considering its future in TNT, Stuart Young said NGC's decision to divert gas from ammonia and methanol producers at Point Lisas to Atlantic LNG because of momentarily higher LNG prices is short-sighted and bad policy. He wrote on Facebook that NGC will have legal questions to answer in a few months with respect to its decisions to allocate gas supplies. A major hotel development approved for Rocky Point, Tobago is promising jobs and a boost for the island's tourism sector. However, not everyone is celebrating, and some are even questioning whether it could suffer the same fate as Sandals. Stefan Nicholas reports.
A 200-room hotel complete with bungalows, villas and private residences is confirmed for Rocky Point, Tobago. The Environmental Management Authority granted Superior Hotels Limited a certificate of environmental clearance on May 1st, paving the way for the $500 million project. Developers say it will create thousands of jobs during the construction phase while boosting Tobago's tourism product with a 3.5-star resort. But environmental advocates are raising concerns about the impact the development could have on the area's delicate ecosystem. Founder of the Rocky Point Foundation, Dwayne Kenny, believes the 30-meter buffer between the coastline and the project is inadequate to protect an already fragile reef.
Our concern is that what they have done in their environmental impact assessment is not at the level that we would have hoped. And also, although it did take a year, but we feel that what they're going to do to alleviate those issues is not really good enough.
This is the coastline that has conservationists concerned. The Rocky Point Foundation said the majority of leatherback turtles in Tobago come right here to lay their eggs. 22 nesting sites were observed by a conservationist yesterday, as well as hatchlings. There's also a wreck called the Maverick not too far off, which is a huge attraction for divers. The Rocky Point Foundation said the right balance needs to be had between development and sustainability.
That location is one of the gems of Tobago. And we believe that the type of development should be a very eco-green focused type with low impact, so maximum green space, minimum construction space. We understand it is a business thing. You have to make money. But we find that there's way too much concrete for that site.
Meanwhile, Rocky Point resident Edmund Lacroix said he's not against the development, but believes the community's infrastructure issues should be addressed first. The 85-year-old said pedestrians currently face dangerous conditions along the roadway due to the lack of sidewalks.
From Grange, coming up all the way to Pleasant Prospect, you don't have sidewalk. I mean, I've seen visitors coming here and they frighten as hell because people drive here, very reckless drivers here.
Superior Hotels chairman John Aboud has described the project as a game changer for Tobago and the surrounding communities. However, Kenny, who holds a degree in hospitality management, said ecotourism is the future, adding that tourists don't visit the destination just for a fancy hotel. Stefan Nicholas, CNC3 News.
Thanks, Stefan. Coming up next, the mother who survived the Belmont mass shooting is now in a stable condition. We'll have those details and more after this.
This Mother's Day, give mom something she'll truly appreciate every single day. Right now at Bright Ideas, we're bringing you massive deals across all locations. TVs from just $9.99. Twin tub washers from $13.99. In the kitchen, fridges from $42.99 and stoves from just $16.99. Coffee makers from $125. Kettles from just $99. Blackout curtains 2 for $100. Towels 4 for $100. Bed sheets from $50. Glass sets as low as $22.99 and much more. Up to 50% off on all the flowers mom will love. Don't wait till last minute. Come through and save. If it's not on special, it's 25% off. Lighting fixtures, bedding, mats, carpets, dinnerware, tableware, and much more. You're guaranteed to save. Visit any of our Bright Ideas locations nationwide today because mom deserves more.
The moment my children came into my life, I do everything I can for them to live healthy, enjoyable lives. Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies. They come in delicious fruit flavors and contain natural plant-based pectin. This means that if I'm looking for an alternative to animal-based gelatin for personal reasons, they are the best choice for my little ones. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way for your children because they deserve it.
Welcome back. Instead of celebrating Mother's Day, a Princestown mother is mourning the tragic loss of her son, who was gunned down outside their St. Julian village home early Saturday morning. 32-year-old Xavier Braffett, a father of 2, had just returned home around 2:50 a.m. from liming with friends when he was ambushed and shot. His mother, Anika Braffett, says she messaged him mere minutes before the attack to find out when he was coming home, but he did not respond. She says she heard a single gunshot and ran out of the house.
It sounds so close. It was too close for comfort. And I just didn't hesitate. I just ran upstairs one time. But I didn't see anybody. But I saw his slippers in the middle of the road. I look over the streets, he lying down by the neighbor there on the ground. So I went and moved him out of sight now, in case I don't know if they go past back. So I protected my son too. So I took him and I hid him under the car. And I ran back over the street to call my daughter now.
A passing police vehicle took him to the Princestown Health Facility where he later died. Describing her son as humble and well-loved within the community, the mother of 2 said she could think of no reason anyone would want him killed.
I don't celebrating no matter. Me, I'm cooking. I don't have the zeal, the strength, the energy to do nothing. I slept in his room last night and I had to drink and drink and drink and drink and drink to knock out, to sleep. It's too hard. I'm not supposed to bury my child. He's supposed to bury me.
Braffett also lamented the growing level of gun violence in the country and called on authorities to take stronger action against criminals. An autopsy is expected to be done this week at the Forensic Science Center. The mother of 23-month-old Akini Kafi, who was killed in last week's Belmont shooting, remains hospitalized, but her condition has improved slightly. 36-year-old Antonia Keane Kafi is listed as stable at the intensive care unit of the Port of Spain General Hospital after being shot multiple times during the attack along Upper St. Francois Valley Road last Thursday. Her husband, Akil Kafi, and family friend Anthony Wilson were killed when gunmen opened fire on the vehicle they were in. Police say no arrests have yet been made. Police Commissioner Lister Guevara says investigators are pursuing all leads as inquiries continue. Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlath says school violence remains a major national challenge, but insists the revised National School Code of Conduct is helping to improve discipline and safety in schools. Responding to questions from CNC3 News today, Dr. Dowlath said the code has helped promote accountability, student support, and safer learning environments across Trinidad and Tobago. But the minister stressed that schools alone cannot solve the issue. He says stronger parental involvement, counseling services, community support, and positive school leadership are all critical in tackling student violence and behavioral problems. In other news, the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force says Sterling Figaro is no longer a serving member of the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. Figaro has been found guilty on 7 charges, including the kidnapping and sexual penetration of boys aged 12 and 14. In a media release issued today, the TTDF said Figaro was discharged from the regiment on April 24, 2021. The Defense Force says it does not support any behavior that violates the laws of Trinidad and Tobago or the values of the institution. Road fatalities continue to rise following a tragic accident near the Caroni flyover early this morning. Around 6 a.m., 3 friends were heading north on the Uriah Butler Highway when their black Hyundai Elantra veered off the road and slammed into a lamppost. The impact split the vehicle in 2, killing 1 man who remains unidentified. Renisha Joseph of Malik and Ronnie Rodriguez were rushed to hospital with serious injuries. Eyewitnesses say the driver fled the scene, and despite police efforts, he has not yet been found. Well, many of us spent today celebrating Mother's Day with our mums, but for some, the day was about remembering and celebrating mothers who are no longer here. For 27-year-old Micaiah Gobin, this year marks 14 years since his mother, Ruth, passed away, but he was able to honor and pay tribute to her by opening up the restaurant she had always dreamed of. Liana Maharaj and Che Tika Singh bring us this story.
Some of the best memories of our mothers usually start in the kitchen. That's the case for the Gobin family, as their mother, Ruth, had a gift for cooking and bringing together loved ones.
She would just be like, come to my house and make a cook, and she just bring everybody together.
A chef by profession, Ruth always dreamed of opening her own restaurant.
Like every time we go, especially restaurants, it's like crazy. Because she's like, it's missing salt, let's need this, let's need that.
But her dream was put on hold as she started battling breast cancer.
2012 is when she passed away.
As her eldest son, Gobin decided though his mother died, he would keep her goal alive. He took up the mantle, making her dream of a restaurant a reality.
Well, I didn't know she had written down the recipes until after. She wrote it down before she passed away. And my dad gave my sister it, and my sister practiced it growing up.
In February, that vision came to life when he opened Ruth's restaurant in Warrenville, Cunupia. And while he manages the restaurant, for now, sushi is the focus of the menu.
She loves seafood. And it had this one particular fish, which was moonshine. Every time she would just come home, every week, you would see she make that 2-3 times a week, which is crazy.
Gobin says, like his siblings, he wishes his mother was there every day. But he knows she would be pleased to see them carrying on her legacy.
It's her dream now, coming through her kids. And she would have a certain way she would probably want to decorate the place, which I did try my best.
This Mother's Day is especially difficult as Ruth is not here to see her dream finally come true. But Gobin continues to live with a hope. Liana Maharaj, CNC 3 News.
Thanks, Liana. On the back of that story, we went out into the streets of Port of Spain to ask, what does your mother mean to you?
My creator, my image, my likeness, my mother and my father, but my mother is more my creator than anything else.
Oh, my mom means a lot to me. She means everything. A great supporter. Well, my mother means the world to me. I guess she's the creator of my life, and I had to be thankful for that.
She gave her everything for me. She sacrificed everything to make sure that I had a life that she did not get to have. So in essence, my everything.
She's my everything, honestly. From the day I was born until now, I'm 60 years old. I really admire her and the things that she's done for me and the rest of the family, and I exalt her all the time.
She like the foundation, plenty of the platform and the way in which I think, the way in how I, approach female, the respect I show is because of the love for my mother.
Still to come in sport, Akesa produces another record run in defense of his TNT Midnight Marathon title.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
It's time for sport. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Force sits in a comfortable position at the end of day one of their semi-final with Barbados Pride. Captain Joshua Da Silva won the toss and chose to bat this morning at Coolidge Ground, Antigua. Jassy Marique reports.
A miserable comeback season in the four-day format continues for TNT opener Evan Lewis. His previous scores this season were 49, 18 and 0. Barbados Pride bowler Johan Lane sent him back today for 7. But rather than being derailed by the setback, the incoming Jid Gooley and the already settled Cephas Cooper put their heads down.
Here is Cooper driving sweetly.
Both notoriously attacking batsmen brought out the full gamut. A controlled back foot punch into the offside spelt 50 for Cooper, including 5 fours. There was hardly a false stroke between them. Gooley with a textbook drive to raise the Red Force 100. But with the score on 118, he chased that one from Shamar Springer that was way outside leg stump and was caught behind on 33. 118 for 2 became 122 for 3 when Lane squared up Jason Mohammed for a duck. Amir Jangu, though, was positive during his time in the middle. His collaboration with Cooper promised a lot, but Cooper gave away his wicket on 93, Jomel Warrican in on the wickets. Resuming after tea at 182 for 4, Jangu was similarly careless in bringing about his own demise on 41. Usually not one to idle once at the crease, Terence Hines joined Joshua Da Silva next, and after raising 200 and soon 250, Da Silva was the second TNT batter to mark a personal milestone, 103 balls for his 50 with 6 fours. Hines also got to the 50-run landmark in the innings. His 50 was compiled from 66 deliveries with 6 fours and a 6. But right on the cusp of the close of play, he was the 6th TNT wicket down, LBW to Kyle Mayers on 51, ending the partnership of 103. TNT lost Carey Pair 2 balls later and closed day one on 298 for 7. Da Silva is still not out on 65. Jassy Marique, CNC3 Sport.
Kenyan long-distance runner Alex Ekesa has continued to demonstrate his liking to local conditions as he broke his own Bafa Sports midnight marathon record on Sunday morning. Here's Jassy Marique again.
Trinidad and Tobago's premier marathon, now called the Midnight Marathon, took participating runners on a loop from the paddock Queen's Park Savannah to downtown Port of Spain, east along the priority bus route up to Dinsley Junction, Trin City, and back, embellished with flavors of Trinidad and Tobago culture along the race route. 2 hours, 28 minutes, 46 seconds after the start, Kenyan Alex Ekesa was the overall winner. Among the men, he beat TNT's Colin Pereira in 3 hours, 12 minutes, 58, and Karan Ragbir Singh 3 hours, 13 minutes, 13 seconds into second and third, respectively.
I'm very grateful today for coming again into this race. I'm very grateful and thankful for the TTI marathon organizers for giving me this opportunity and privilege to come back for the second time in a row to defend my title.
Defending women's champion Colombia's Palmenia Berrio was second overall, clocking 3 hours, 1 minute, 22 seconds, and among the ladies finished ahead of Guadalupe's Cristina Laurent in 3 hours, 13:22, and Panama's Maria Barrera in 3 hours, 37 minutes, 53 seconds. Jassy Marique, CNC3 Sport.
One controversial VAR decision today might have handed the English Premier League title to one London club and simultaneously relegated another.
Wan-Bissaka continuing his run.
flying header and an outstanding save.
Through a crowd of bodies. But just as Arsenal thought they had done enough, Callum Wilson scored for their relentless challengers Manchester City, who have a game in hand. FC Barcelona are 2026 Spanish La Liga champions following a 2-0 victory over bitter rivals Real Madrid today. To end a tumultuous week for Madrid, Barcelona took the lead through Marcus Rashford on 77 points. It's time now for another break. Stay with us.
How can you do this? You know we're already struggling and now you want to add to our problems too?
Of course you're back here.
Ma'am, please, I hope
you listen to me. I know that for someone like you, it must be a whole lot of fun to go out and get drunk. I'll ask you this one time, that if you can't respect your daughters or care enough to avoid doing things to get yourself arrested, then at least have the basic decency not to get Alejandra involved in your reckless behavior.
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
Pope Leo XIV has met with Haiti's Prime Minister amid the country's deepening political and humanitarian crisis. The high-level meeting focused on the worsening security situation, ongoing gang violence, and urgent efforts to restore stability and support the Haitian people. The Vatican says the Pope expressed concern over the impact of the crisis on civilians, particularly vulnerable communities, and called for renewed international solidarity. The Haitian Prime Minister is seeking stronger global support as the nation continues to grapple with political instability and deteriorating public safety. The hantavirus-stricken cruise ship MV Hondias is anchored on the Spanish island of Tenerife. Spain's health ministry says passengers were declared asymptomatic as they disembarked. Among those who evacuated, several passengers from the U.S. John Loring reports.
Dozens of passengers on the hantavirus-stricken cruise ship started to exit the craft Sunday and were brought to shore on small boats. Several nations, including the U.S., Germany, and France, are sending aircraft to evacuate their nationals who were on board.
This unprecedented operation is going as planned.
The ship left port in Argentina on April 1st. Just over a month later, 3 people from the craft died from the disease.
We are in touch with the WHO. We're in touch with the international health organizations, including the one in Spain, and we have been providing technical assistance to all of those organizations all the way through.
Although several countries will be monitoring passengers, health officials stress the risk to the public remains low.
Now let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. The Met Office says generally sunny and breezy conditions are expected with a few partly cloudy periods and isolated showers affecting some areas. A mild concentration of Saharan dust remains across the atmosphere and sensitive individuals are advised to take the necessary precautions. Tomorrow's maximum forecast temperature in Trinidad is 33 degrees, while Tobago will experience a high of 32 degrees Celsius. As we leave you tonight, we wish all the mothers and motherly figures a happy Mother's Day, including mine. Now, here at Guardian Media, as we celebrated mothers last Friday, we took the opportunity to ask them what it means to be a mother and what advice they'd give to a young mother. The images are of members of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation giving roses to mothers in the market to enjoy.
Being a mom, it's a virtue. Being able to steer young minds into what you will like them to be, because it's not easy. Especially now, it's not easy. I'm proud to be a mom. I will do it all over again.
To me, it means loving someone so much that you will give the entire world for them. Right? You stop thinking about yourself. You're just thinking about these little people that you brought into this world that they didn't ask to come here. Right? And as they get older, sometimes you question yourself, but it's all completely worth it. You learn to love them, you put their needs first, you accept them for who they are and what they want to be.
Being a mom is the best experience that any woman could experience in this lifetime. It is one that's very fulfilling, you get overprotective of your children, and it's the best feeling ever.
What advice would you give to a young mother?
I would say for young moms, your children never asked to come into this world. Just give them all the love and guidance and be there as much as you can. Money is not all, but love conquers all.
to be a mother is something very significant in my life, knowing that I have this child and I could create a future for another generation, create a legacy. I think it's pivotal. And what advice I would give to a young parent is to understand that you have the opportunity to change a generation, to make a brighter future than you would have had by what you implement in this child. So it's an awesome opportunity of being a mom. And happy Mother's Day to all moms!
You're watching CNC3.
Caribbean literature has always done so much more than just telling stories. It has preserved memory, challenged power, while also capturing the rhythm and complexities of Caribbean life, as well as its diasporas. From the voices of slavery and independence, to migration, identity, climate, and belonging, Caribbean writers continue to shape global conversations through deeply personal and profoundly political work. Tonight, we explore the evolving landscape of Caribbean literature, the writers carrying the tradition forward, and why these stories matter now more than ever.